Well, here we've got some logarithms. There's one property of logarithm that says if you have two logarithms and the bases are the same, here they are, they're both base 10, and they're being added together, then you are allowed to combine that as one logarithm. All you need to do is then multiply the two arguments. So it's going to be x to the 3 is multiplied with x to the 5. The next thing to do is use the fact that the base is 10. So when it says log without a number, that means the base is 10. So take that 10 and raise it to the exponent, which in this case is 1. And that gets rid of the logarithm. You only have algebra left on the left-hand side. Since those two are being multiplied, we add the two exponents and get x to the 8th. And then in order to get rid of the 8th, we would need to take the 8th root of both sides. Because we're taking an even root, we would need to go plus or minus that 8th root of 10. Now let's get a decimal answer. So there's two ways you can do 8th root on this calculator. You can say I've got a 10 and raise it to the 1/8 power. You might have to, on your calculator, put parentheses around the 1 and the 8 if you don't get the same answer, 1.334. Or you can say, I'm going to take the 8th root and then go to math, move down to this one right here, and say the 10th root, or excuse me, the 8th root of 10. Same thing. So 1.334 but then I'm going to throw away the negative answer because if I put the negative answer in here and cube it, that's going to be a negative, and you can't take the log of a negative. So we only keep the positive answer. Now with this one over here, you might think, well, that's just numbers. Just type that in your calculator. Excuse me, as I dropped the calculator. Type that in the calculator and see what you get. Let's see, log of 1,000 to the 1,000, and how much is all that? And what happens is the calculator tries to figure out how much is 1,000 to 1,000, and it overflows its brain. So we can't use a calculator. Instead, we need to go, if this is an exponent, then there's a rule for logarithms that says you can take that exponent, bring it down in front, and multiply. Then, since this is just log of 1,000, your calculator would be able to do it. Technically, you don't need a calculator because you can say, well, the base here is 10. The whole idea of logarithms is, if the base is 10, then what exponent do I use on a 10 in order to get 1,000? And since this has 3 zeros, the answer should be 3. So we'd have 3 right here times 1,000. So let's see if the calculator is smart enough to do that. So if you just do log of 1,000, sure enough, it's 3. So we've got 1,000 times 3, or 3,000.